the Chicago Bulls side of things, you trade away Zach LaVine. It looked like he had no value whatsoever. You weren't going to get any return. You were going to even have to give up your own picks to get Zach LaVine off your hands on another roster. But they found a partner. They got into this deal with De'Aaron Fox, sending him to the Spurs, and they get Zach Collins back, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter. Decent return, and you get your first round pick. You get control over it. If the Bulls would have finished 10th worst in the standings, they would have had that pick regardless, but still get control of your pick, so I'm going to be a little happy about that. I'm going to thumbs it up. But this return is still disappointing. Zach Collins, he's just going to be depth. If you move Vooch, Zach Collins and Jalen Smith will be your depth, your front court rotation. Trey Jones might not play that much for us. Let's be honest. I mean, it would have been a good move when we had our last roster constructed, a good backup point guard. But right now, our depth at guard it's fully loaded. It's overfilled. Some of these guys got to go. Javon Carter's probably going to get traded. Lonzo Ball's probably going to get traded. A lot of those guys are going to get traded just to make room because we don't have enough roster spots for these three guys. And Kevin Huerter coming in the mix too. So really the only one to feel okay about is Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter will be a good floor spacer for Io and Josh Giddey. So I'm excited about that, I guess. Good three-point shooter too. He's having a down year this year. And he's going to be on the roster next 2 seasons because he's got a player option next year, $17 million. So he's going to pick that up, especially with the down year he's having. He's going to stay with the Bulls. This is a guy we wanted for 2 years too. So hopefully a change of scenery improves his play. Hopefully in a new spot, with different players around him, in a different scheme. He has, he reaches the ceiling. He gets back to that 40% from three, being one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Hopefully that happens. Other than that, this trade, there's not too much to be excited about that, other than Kevin Huerter and getting control of your first-round pick back. Now it's time to get Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey, one of those two. But you have to be bad. And I think the Bulls trading LaVine is, no matter how bad the return is, that's accepting the fate of we're trying to be bad, we're trying to rebuild this thing, we're trying to, get one of those top guys in the draft. If that's the case, I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. Finally making that decision. I don't know how much I trust AK in this front office to get things right and to do a successful rebuild because just what they've done, how they manage their assets, getting no first-round picks in any of the trades for DeRozan, Caruso, LaVine, our 3 best players that we had. Like the 3 players you're expected to get the most return from. No first-round picks. Giddey for Caruso when OKC has 20 first-round picks is insane. DeRozan, no first-round picks for him. And yeah, LaVine, getting rid of him when he was an all-star caliber player this season. 24 points per game, shooting 40% from 3 and 50% from the field. He was playing at an elite level, playing at the level we expect Zach LaVine to play, and really still got no return for him. Really. Disappointing. The Bulls right now, it's going to get ugly for this team. Without Zach LaVine, I mean, right now we're a playing team at best, but without Zach LaVine, without Vooch, without these players that are good, it's going to get really ugly. The games are going to be tough to watch. But that's the direction we want to go in. We want to at least have a direction. Now the Bulls have that direction. I think there does need to be some change, though, after the season. AK needs to get fired. Need to change some things in this front office. I don't know how confident I am in Billy Donovan. Kind of been in a fuck situation. Played a little bit part in that, too. But, yeah, Matas Buzelis. Give him some more minutes. Clear out some of these old heads, these unks. Give Matas Buzelis starting minutes. Because when he gets 20-plus minutes, he's out there making plays. He's a highlight reel. He has the athleticism. He has the traits to be a really good defender. And just a highlight reel. Dunking. A nice crossover made the defender fall. And that dunk, like this guy has some really good talent to him. And I'm excited to see what he can be. But he can't reach that ceiling. He can't get to that next level if we're giving him 10 minutes a game. So Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, I want to see those guys get more minutes. So with trading these players, getting rid of these veterans, getting some decent return, if we're not getting any return, give these young guys minutes. Kobe White better not be traded either, Chicago Bulls. That will end my fandom for real with the Bulls. If Kobe White, one of our best players, that's the guy we need to build around. He's already second in franchise history with 5+ 3-pointers in a game. So Io, I really want to see him get more minutes and see him be in a more pivotal role. He's a starter right now, but I want to see the ball in his hands more. Josh Giddey, I'd be okay with trading him. The only players that are untouchables, and untouchable has a new meaning with Luka getting traded, but only untouchable players for me, Matas Buzelis, Kobe White, Io. Those three, yeah, I'm holding on to him. Patrick Williams, he can go. If he stays, he's still a young player, whatever. Josh Giddey, I would want him out the building because we traded Alex Caruso, got no first round picks for that. And Josh Giddey really hasn't done anything elite. He hasn't, I'm not loving what I see from him. It's more meh performances. He has a couple of 20-point triple doubles, whatever, but it's not consistent, and he's a defensive liability. So, and we'd be better out there with just Lonzo running the point. So I wouldn't mind trading Giddey. The Spurs wanted him. They offered us something. There was some talks there. We didn't take that. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why we're holding on to our assets way too long. We're playing the waiting game, and when we do trade him and we make a move, we get 0 first-round picks for any of our good players. Doesn't make sense. Even when we do the rebuild, even when we're getting rid of players, we don't even do that right. So it's unfortunate. He just can't put together a healthy season. But during mandatory minicamp, he revealed to Bears media and in press conferences that his team reached out to the Bears to potentially get a contract